All right. So you done started this business.
Right.
What you planning on doing?
Well, I'm planning on building it in three different ways, right? The first part is doing the private dining events, small, intimate dining events from 10 to 20 people. And then also incorporating with that my social media part, which is doing the cooking shows. But I know I gave you my background prior to in the email that I sent, but I kind of wanted to do shorts first before I did full blown set cooking layout videos or have those as a part of my subscription service and component to that. So that's the initial groundwork to grow the business.
Why you want to start with shorts?
Well, in part, um, because I also do my day work, my other job also. So, in my background, so that is
What that got to
I've
do with
always
shorts?
I've always been kind of private and behind the scenes. But I
That's not
understand.
going to work if you want to make money.
I know. I totally understand.
So how does shorts keep you from? Are you planning to not be on camera in these shorts, or
Not a probably won't be on camera a lot. Like no.
so these intimate private events that people are going to trust you to feed their very special guests? How will they come to know you exist at all, and then come to trust you if they don't see you? What's your plan for getting people who do not know you to pay you money?
The plan is in the marketing part and the networking part is those one-on-ones. Once they call in, once we do the consultations, and they'll see that part of my personality once we build that part. But
How do
I
you get
understand what you're saying.
how do you get how do you get those one-on-ones? Because everybody's busy. So why would they make time to talk to this person that they don't know? How do they come from not knowing you exist to meeting with you one-on-one?
It will definitely social media. Like I have to have an Instagram. I have to have that social media component so they can see what it is that I'm capable of doing and my abilities. I also know the website, it has to be searchable via Google, like all of that to drive them to me. Other people sharing their experiences and the reviews that will lead them to me as well.
Yeah, that sounds good, but it doesn't really answer the question. And I'm not trying to beat you up here. I want you to understand, because this is where so many people fail. They think, okay, I create the social media account, I create the website, and those are boxes that you're checking, but
Hmm.
that doesn't connect all the way to somebody who does not know you paying you money. Like, everybody's got Instagram. Everybody in the food space is on Instagram. Very few of those people are on YouTube, because YouTube is harder. This is why I promote it for chefs. It's harder in the beginning, but once you learn how to use it, it's actually easier. And then when we're talking about establishing rapport,
Yeah.
establishing a relationship, YouTube beats all the other platforms. It's hands down. And that's what I'm talking about when I'm saying, how do you get strangers to trust you enough, even with their time, to set an appointment before we even talk about getting them to money? But you got to convince people that, well, one, they got to know you exist. Two,
Yeah.
you got to convince them that you're worth their time. And I'm not hearing a good strategy from you for how you're going to do that, because if you're not going to appear on camera, you just want to be some hands putting together food. Well, there's 10 million hands, sets of hands putting together food on Instagram. how do you separate yourself, and how do you, like, we're in September, about to be October right now. This is prime time. This may be the most profitable season for a private chef because
Yes.
of all of the fellowship, food and fellowship events that people are having, the holiday party season and all of that. So if you're not separating yourself in any way from just what everybody else is doing, then how you going to get those premium gigs? And that's really what I try to get people to focus on, is there's an underserved audience in the premium consumer, the people who will pay you 10 grand or more for that private party of 10
Hmm.
people or less, where there's the cost based pricing and the per person pricing that everybody uses. With how many guests? Well, X amount per person.
Yeah.
I see generally like 75 to $150 per person seems to be where people are settling. And that's because that's what everybody else is doing. So if you put yourself in that group, then they're just going to compare you. Okay, you're charging 75, this other person is charging 80, this person is charging 65. And that's what
Hmm.
they're making their decision based on. You really don't want to be in that, because that's a hot mess. People just fighting amongst themselves for those. Whereas there's the clients who will pay you 10 grand and they're much easier to deal with. They're going to want you, they're not interested in how much per person. They're interested in the experience that you're going to
Right.
deliver for them and their guests. And the only way you can communicate that kind of experience is to stand in front of the camera and communicate that kind of experience. If you just do what everybody else is doing on Instagram, you will never be able to access that premium audience and make a whole lot of money with so much less work. So that's I'm 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 just giving you that guidance. You make your own decision. Folks choose, which way they want to go, but
Yeah.
I want to let you know how you get to those people who really have money. And you gotta be willing to show who you are, because they're not going to pay that kind of money to somebody who they don't know. They're not even going to contact you. Like, the way this usually works is these folks are watching your content. They're never going to comment on anything. You're not going to know they exist, and somebody's going to contact you and have a conversation with you because they've seen you enough to know that you're worth their time, and they're going to tell you what they want. They're going to describe the experience they want to deliver. You're going to help them craft that, and they're going to hear everything that they wanted to hear. And then at the end, they're going to say how much, and you tell them, and they, okay, where do I send the money?
Right.
Versus the people that want to argue with you about,
No, I'm
well,
not doing that.
can we? So it's I'm just trying to give you the guidance on how you get to those people who don't care what it costs. They care about what the experience that you're going to deliver, and you got to do higher level marketing to get to those folks.
I understand. I do. I understand. It is, like I said, it's an adjustment because I've always dealing with being in law enforcement, doing crime scene investigation, and even sometimes now I'm called to have to testify. So I balance. I've always just kept my social media part. I've never put myself out there. So it will be an adjustment beyond the legwork and networking and shaking hands and meeting people one on one and building that groundwork. I can do that in person, but putting it out to social media,
Yeah, that's that. So social media just makes it so much easier. Like, you can only be one place at a time. Wearing out
yes.
shoe leather to do that, that's just, especially if you have a job, whereas you can use, like, I use my YouTube channel as an example, and I got the boringest channel in the world except for a very specific niche of people. All I do is sit in front of the camera and talk just like this. There's nothing fancy, there's nothing. I just get on camera, I say whatever I gotta say, and I'm out. And then the next video is just like that one. And I get right now about 150 hours per month of watch time, because YouTube gives you these statistics. So
Uh-huh.
people are watching my channel for about 150 hours a month. That's 5 hours a day of time that I'm spending with people without it actually taking my time. So this is me doing that one-on-one consultation that you're describing without it actually taking my time. That's the real advantage that YouTube gives you. And then so that's me and my channel statistics. As a chef, the kind of content that you'll be able to create,
Yes.
inviting people into your kitchen and sharing that experience with them and just talking about food, talking about whatever it is you want to talk about, that's so much more interesting to a much broader audience. So your monthly watch time would be way higher than mine. And then when we're talking about getting premium clients, you'll need a bunch of them.
Yes.
If you're going to do, if you go after the 10K and up crowd, you do one catering gig, one private chef gig per month, and that's 120 grand a year.
Yes.
It's a
Yeah.
much easier way to make money than every weekend, you hustling and scrambling and doing that for like 1,500 or $2,000. So
That's true. That's true. And I thank you your approach, and because I said you very direct, you about business, about getting started, and I appreciate it. So thank you. You said because people we dream and you talk, and it's like okay, when are you going to do it? So I just wanted to let you know, thank you. I've been part of those 150 hours, and so doing the background work. And it took me a year, the research and planning and development phase, all of that to even launch now. So it's time to kick it into to gear. So yeah.
what do you want to accomplish this holiday season in terms of clients? Like what's your objective? Because you should be, if you're a private chef, you should have some be working this holiday season. Like this is when you make your money. So what are your goals for this holiday season?
In the next 30 days, I would love to secure two event. Like I need to secure two events. I've already did one last month, September. I did 12 people. I had a referral to do the New Year's Eve event. That was 200 people, but I turned that down because that's outside of my scope. And so as it spread, I know like networking and word of mouth, like it will get out there, but I need to speed it up. Yeah. So
I'm a
within the next 30 days, two events.
so this is a teaching point for other folks because you didn't just turn that gig down. Is this the gig you referred to Sharon, right?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
so for other folks, they need to understand you didn't just turn down a gig, you referred it to somebody else who a more experienced caterer. We're talking about Sharon Reed, who you've seen on my channel. Uh,
Correct.
me and Sharon do we do podcast interviews together from time to time where we're just teaching or training sessions. And so the point that I'm making here for you as well as for other folks, because I'm always teaching, is you because do you actually know Sharon?
No, I don't.
Okay. So you got an opportunity to cater an event for 200 people and it was beyond your scope, but you trusted Sharon to do it, who you've never met, because you've seen her on my YouTube channel. You've been able to watch her and check her out and understand. And so Sharon's been running her catering business for 19 years. It'll be
Yes.
20. I don't know if it's 20 this year or 20 next year, but she's been running her catering business for 19 years. And by going on YouTube with me and just, you know, teaching people and just letting folks know who she is and what she's about and demonstrating her expertise, that job came to her via you because of her standing in front of the camera and just demonstrating who she is. You and I are having this conversation right now because you were generous enough and just thinking collaboratively to pass
Yes.
that opportunity to somebody who you knew could handle it and deliver a fantastic experience to the customer. And that's why we're talking right now, because I vigorously guard my time. And this is, again, I'm speaking to the folks who are watching, I vigorously guard my time. Everybody wants to talk to me about a cooking show, but they're not
Yes.
serious business people. You gotta demonstrate to the world, not to me, but you gotta take actions that demonstrate to the world that you're serious. And that's how opportunities open up for you. And that's why we're having this conversation. Because when Sharon showed me that email, I was like, okay, I like this lady. Let me make some time to talk to her, because whatever she needs help with, I'm gonna give her whatever I got for her, because she's got the right mindset. I can get things done with people who take action and who are thinking about wins for people other than themselves. And that's something that so many folks need to learn. You can't just be out here for yourself. What can you get? You're not thinking about anybody else. Well, if that's how you're thinking, then nobody else is thinking about you. So by
Correct.
you being generous and thinking about Sharon, that made me and Sharon think about you and how we can help you. It's a reciprocation. And it started with you taking action. And that's the important message that I want folks to understand. I'm always saying, you got to take action, you got to take action, you got to take action. Can't be just thinking about stuff. And you are demonstrating exactly that. You are taking action and making progress. And we're going to get you some progress as quickly as you want to get it. So you said you want 2 events in the next 30 days. I'm going to provide you with a resource. Let me write these notes to myself. I'm going to provide you a resource where you can advertise locally here, like in the DC area. That's going to get
Okay.
you the opportunity to get those 2 clients. And we're going to set a system up. We're going to work something out right now to make sure you're best capable of processing those inquiries. Let's start with we're going to go to your website, because I took a look at it, and just there's a couple of things that I wanted to. First of all, this is, again, want to celebrate you for taking action to have a website. You'd be surprised at how many chefs contact me and they don't have a website. Like, you come on, man. It's 2025. You can't. You want to have any kind of business. You got to have your business card on the internet in the form of your website. You cannot just have an Instagram account. So homepage looks good. We got your story, personalized dining experience. Okay, we got these things. So when they fill out this contact form, what happens?
When they fill out the contact form, it's linked to my linked to my Yahoo account. So it'll send the email
Okay,
to me.
that's one thing we gotta. So this right here, we gotta
Hmm.
fix. We gotta change this. You already have the Sweet Iolas. Am I saying that right?
Sweet
Sweet Iola.
Iolas.
Okay,
Yes.
the Sweet Iola's domain. You need a Sweet Iola's email address, because you're gonna do the simple, easiest marketing solution that most small business owners are not using is email marketing. People post and post and post and post and post on social media, but they never collect any email addresses, which makes it that you got to keep posting. Whereas if you post on social media and you offer them what's called a lead magnet, which is something that they want, that they would be willing to give you their email address for. In your case, as a private chef, something like 10 tips or 5 tips on how to host a private event, like the things that, as a private chef, that the questions that people generally have or the mistakes that they typically make when they're trying to host an event. You put those things into a guide and say, you know, sign up and get this guides to make sure you have a fantastic event, especially like this holiday season. It can be, you can make it holiday season related and then change it later, but you know things about hosting an event and feeding people
Yes.
successfully that they don't know. So the person who wants to host some folks and maybe this is their first time doing it, first time for the holiday season, they're having a party. Maybe they the in-laws are coming over for the first time and some they want to impress the family and not mess this up and all. So the motivation is there to get this additional information that will help me not embarrass myself and my spouse in front of their family or my wannabe spouse, whatever. Uh, so that's an example of just a simple guide that you can put together, and that could be like it could be one page of tips. It could be a video, which would be even better, where you're just explaining like here's the 5 things. Number one, you want to make sure you do this. Number two, you want to do this. Number three, don't do this. Whatever. Nothing complicated. Something that you already know off the top of your head, but they don't know it. And so they give you their email address in exchange for this guide. And now you don't have to worry about social media in order to stay in touch with them. You don't have to keep posting videos, hoping that they see it. You get to send them an email once a week, is what I recommend. And you can drop your latest video in it. You can drop seasonal tips or like we're coming up on holiday season. What kind of things do they need to be thinking about in terms of planning their events or whatever? You're just positioning yourself as their advisor and for event
Understood.
hosting. And this is another way that you build this trust with people who don't know you, but now you dropping this email every week. Oh, this was useful. Oh, that's helpful. Oh man, she's right. I need to go work on that now because if I wait until the last minute, like she said, blah blah blah, and
All
now they
gone.
trust you. There you go. Now they trust you. And so you can, and this is so easy via email.
Yeah.
You just type a few words. You don't need to be fancy. You don't need to, you just write it in your voice. Doesn't need to have pictures or video. It can, but it doesn't have to because this is not social media. It's just an email. It could be just a couple of sentences. So to do that, you got to have a real email account, a branded email address, not a Yahoo or Gmail or whatever, because the tools that you need to send out is they're called email service providers. The platforms that you use to send out emails, they depending on the platform, it will either not accept a Yahoo or a personal email address at all, or it will accept it, but it's going to work poorly in terms of your deliverability and different things that will
Okay.
impact how successful your email campaigns are. And just from a business perspective, you want to have a corporate email account because at some point you may want to outsource that management of your inbox to an assistant and
Okay.
those things, none of that stuff, all this we talked about, none of it works well with a consumer email address. You want to get a business email address, and it's like $20 or $30 a year, something like that.
Yeah.
So it's not a big deal. But we want to work on that because when people fill out that contact form, it sends you. You said what happens after that?
It'll send to my Yahoo. It's linked to my Yahoo. It should send it there. It should pop up to them to send to my Yahoo.
Okay, we that's fine right now. But for your business going forward, it's fine right now as in today, but as quickly as possible, what you want to do is get that set up with an email service provider. I recommend Flodesk, and actually right now, Flodesk, that's what I use. They have a plan. They have an unlimited plan. You pay, I think it's $50 a month, and no matter how big your email list gets, you pay the same price. Whereas the other platforms implement tiered, so like you get to 1,000 people, then the price goes up to whatever, and then
Hmm.
2,500 it goes up to whatever. And so Flowdesk is ending their unlimited plan on November 28th. So if you sign up before November 28th, you're in with the unlimited. So you never have to worry your list. You know, you might be one of these folks that ends up with a YouTube channel with millions of subscribers. Those cooking channels exist. And then you might end up with, out of those, you know, a million subscribers, you might end up with 100 or 200,000 people on your email list. And if you got the unlimited plan, you're not paying, you know, that, because that, you know, those prices will, I mean, you should be making money, but those prices will go up. You know, you'll be going to like $2,000 or $3,000 a month for, because that's how big your email list is. Whereas if you sign up with an unlimited plan, you don't have to worry about that. So,
Okay.
and when so what will happen is when, and I'll give you a link for that. Let me make sure, put a note to myself.
Yes.
So what will happen is once you gotten that set up, when people fill out that form, you can have yourself be notified, but more importantly, they will be added to an email list so that next week when you send out your email broadcast, they're automatically on it. You don't have to do anything. They fill out the form, they get on your list, your
Like
list
building a
grows.
listserv, like building a
That is
listserv.
exactly what this is.
Okay. You
That's
building a
exactly what
listserv.
this is. Yeah.
Okay. And I didn't know, like, even with using the host sites, if you change to a different host, would that email and all of that information go with you, or would it be stuck with the first one that you? So that was my kind of. So it's better dealing with, I guess, a third party that can do it, and so that you can always have it no matter what host you decide to go with, or
Yeah,
if
you
you decide to switch.
when you create an email list, because I've switched platforms.
Uh huh.
That's the beauty of email. This is the only way that you own the relationship. So when you let's say you sign
But
up
it's
with
not.
Flow.
But it's not through the host. You're doing it through the third party, through the.
What what you making a distinction between host and third party, and they pretty much the same. Because there's the customer or the email subscriber, and then there's the company that's
No, I'm
sending out
saying the
the emails.
separate email, the separate company that you suggested for having the email set up.
Yeah, that's
There's
so in this instance, that's Flodesk. Well, that's what we're
yes,
talking about. Or it
yeah.
could be MailChimp or ConvertKit. They call themselves Kit now, or Constant Contact, whoever. But once you create your account, you start building your list, and let's say you decide you want to move from Flodesk to MailChimp. You just download your email list, you create your MailChimp account, and you upload it again. That's the beauty of email. You own that relationship. You collect those email addresses. Nobody can ever hold you hostage. And my
Okay,
best practice, what I do is I download my email list every month. So every month I have a reminder to pull down my email list. And that way, no matter what happens, I got, you know, let's say that company gets shut down or something, I don't know, whatever.
right.
I got my list of email addresses and it's current because I do it every month.
Okay, great. That's what
So
I wanted to make sure of.
yeah,
Okay,
yeah. So when we get you set up on Flowdesk, then you can send out. And so once they make their inquiry, and we're gonna show you something else for that as well. Uh, there's just joining your email list, and then there's people who want to make a private chef inquiry. And for those inquiries, what I would recommend is I use a platform called Typeform. That may not be the right solution for you at this time, but what it does is allow you to collect information that you're going to need for that consultation. Actually, for what you're doing right now, I think Calendly would be perfect, which is the tool that you use to schedule this appointment.
yes. Mm-hmm.
So with Calendly, you can put questions that people have to answer, and that will give you the information you need, like what size is the event, um, Well, give me an example of like if
The way if they send it in now and you request an event, then I send you the intake form. I have a client intake form, and then from there, we decide to move forward with after the client intake form. Then it's the contract phase. So
what's on that form.
the same things, the location, have the size of the people, any dietary restrictions, what are they looking for, where did they hear about me, all of that.
So they fill that form out, and then what happens?
And then I call them within 24 hours, and we decide, based on the consultation, if they want to move forward. And I will send them a quote. They decide, yes, I want to move forward. Then the contract phase.
Would it work better for you? Would this be more efficient if they went to a form, answered half a dozen questions that are relevant that you would need before having that, and then they scheduled at that time?
Yeah.
Would that, because if that works for you, because you can set up Calendly to only have like whatever the hours are that you would be available to talk to these folks, because like you got a job, so then there's this block of hours where you're not taking appointments, and then there's these other blocks of hours where you are available for appointments, and you would just
Right.
have Calendly let them pick from there when they want to have this conversation, and you would get the information that you need up front. And it seems like that would be a shorter path to getting on the phone with them or getting on Zoom with them. And if that makes sense for you, then that's what I'm gonna recommend, because Calendly is my favorite tool out of everything.
Okay.
So you could have like the when they fill out that form on that email, provide their email address, they that could be in that first email. Here's the what did we call it? The guide to hosting an event, whatever it is, whatever that's going to be called. And if you are interested in getting help, you want to have a private chef event right now, here's that link. Like both of those links can go in the same email, and they click for whatever they wanted. And they clicked, and they go to the form and fill it out, and bloop, now you got an appointment on your calendar. So this is the power and the beauty of email. When you use it correctly, it's a personal assistant.
Right.
It's a and when and so I like to plan for success. I like to prepare my folks for success. So let's say we put out a video or put out something, some marketing piece, like when this uh marketing resource that I'm sent to you for you to use, it's quite possible that from that resource within, and because of the time of the year that we're in, you might get 10 or 20 people who want to have a conversation about the event that they're planning for this holiday season. You want to have a system in place that's going to take care of that for you. When
Okay.
when you're doing one and two, you can handle that on your own. But if 10 people reach out to you in one day, that can be a problem. And then 5 or 10 more tomorrow. Like if 30 or 40 people reach out to you in a week, you really want to have a
I
system in
understand.
place that makes
I
sure that
understand.
everybody gets the same response, and in a timely manner, and they're able to schedule and do all, like that's where we're going for, because we want to plan for success, because we're at the time of the year where you don't know. You put yourself in front of these folks. A lot of people might like what they see and want to reach out to you, and you want to be able to handle those inquiries. So let's go back here. So we good here. Um, what's on the about page? about Chef Jones. Okay. Um, these farm and farmers market photos got me thinking of something before I forget. This is a great time for you to go to the farmers markets and start making some friends because
Okay.
they're about to shut down for the season, and they so a cooking show is all season. You have the ability to put those farmers and their products in front of people all year, not just during. And some of them, many of them have products that they can sell all winter and they have to find ways to do it
Yes.
because the farmers market's closed. Well, when you have a cooking show, full length cooking show, recorded horizontally, you standing in front of the camera talking and teaching, maybe have a guest and let them talk some too. That that is a marketing resource that makes everybody win. You win, the farmer wins, they bring their audience, and many of these people have huge audiences because they got the farm with the cute little animals, and one of these animals got, 1 million followers on Instagram or whatever. And so when you partner with that farmer, those people are going to come check you out too, and now you're picking up subscribers and getting email inquiries and all of that. So this is why I push everybody to the full length cooking show because it's a small business. It's an economic engine that can feed so many people. And when you create something like that you're helping other people win, that's
Yes.
how you
Yes.
can go from startup to super successful real quick. So that's something I want you to keep in mind. Um, and now's the time because we're in September. Yeah, you probably I would recommend you go hit some farmers markets up this weekend because they're gonna be closing soon, and you just get contact information for these people, and then once you get going, you'll be able to reach out to them, and then you can feature their products, and you can just talk about like stuff that you actually would
That's
use,
great. Yes.
and
Yes. Absolutely.
it's it's a totally organic form of marketing, and again everybody wins. So I just want to make sure I tell you that before I forget. Service location solutions. See what we got here. You do meal prep?
Yes, I will do that as well.
All right. Let's check out the menu. The menu. Um, this is very specific. Like these. This is almost. I mean, it's like a restaurant menu. How does this work if somebody's doing if I want to have an event for 10 people, uh, how does this work as far as the menu? Am I ordering just off of this menu or is there other?
You're ordering just off each menu. So the Joy at the Table menu, then the plant based Heart and Soul menu, or then the Southern Hospitality brunch. There are it is a surcharge for customizations, like, but if somebody have dietary restrictions or you got one person that's vegan, I'm willing to work with you.
I saw on here somewhere. Yeah, this is what. So we're at per person pricing, weekly meal prep, and this kind of okay. Um, yeah, this kind of pricing, I'm not a fan of because this is like they're gonna be looking. you charging 10, 15, and $20 for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. When you price yourself, when you position yourself in the market this way, this sets you up for them to compare you. The price shoppers are going to somebody got an $8 breakfast, a $13 lunch, and a $17 dinner, and then they're gonna want to ask you, well, why should they? And then you don't want to deal with that. You don't want to deal with these people. Uh, the folks who you want are the ones who got plenty of money. They don't want to prepare their own meals. Just take care of this for me. How much?
Yes.
They're not worried about a $10 breakfast or whatever. So, and the way you reach those people is by communicating in terms of the solution, not the price. You want meal prep for somebody like that. This is a weekly meal prep service. Just give them an overall cost. Like instead of
It's 120, but they letting them pick out how many breakfasts do you want, or how many. Just tell them this comes with this many breakfasts, this comes with this many lunches and dinners. Just have it already laid out, and this is the price.
yep, because that's all they want.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
there's a thing called decision fatigue where
Yes.
and people have to make so many decisions throughout the day. People and the more money people have, the more that this can bear on them because they got this money for a reason. They're doing things that require a lot and they're making a lot of decisions. They want the stuff people to come to them with solutions where they don't have to think. And so
Oh,
the
make it
less,
easy.
yeah, the more easy you make it for them, they will give you that money. Just like this was a conversation that I had with Sharon years ago about her Thanksgiving pricing. She was so far below what she was supposed to be charging. When I looked at it, I was shocked. I was like, this is insane. So we 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 doubled the price the first year, I think. And then we doubled it again the next year because it was so low. I had to get it up quickly. And she
Accounting for the service, but not profitability. Like you and expenses, your expenses. It's a lot.
yeah, but she was profitable. But
Okay.
for Thanksgiving dinner, people are not price shopping the right audience. Tell people what happened because
Oh, with our
when we
Thanksgiving?
yeah, tell them what happened from when I saw the pricing in the beginning and I said, okay, yeah, we changing
Yeah,
this and we cranked
yeah.
it way up. What happened?
Right. So Lindsay looked at the pricing of my Thanksgiving package and what's inclusive of, well, you can do a la carte, just a fried turkey, or you can have a whole dinner, which would be the fried turkey and three sides. And so he looked at the pricing and he was like, man, this is nothing. And I'm like, that's a lot. And so I think we almost doubled it.
Almost. Yep.
Almost, it wasn't quite double it, and I was very hesitant to do it. And I'm like, oh, in my mind, I'm thinking, oh, you know what? We'll probably have less sales this year, but it's okay. It's okay. I'll still have the business. Well, we probably doubled in sales, almost tripled that particular year because, to my amazement, to my surprise, I mean, people were not even but blinking, budging at the price increase. And I think you told me that one of your clients actually said, you asked them, hey, did you notice that Sharon increased her price? And his response back was, no, I didn't notice. I mean, I was going to order regardless. So that's a lesson learned, is that you can't be afraid.
And then what we do the next year with the price?
We increased it again. And so then this year he says, we're increasing the price. And I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, yes.
When you combine that with appropriate marketing, you don't lose anything. You don't lose customers. For Thanksgiving dinner, people are not price shopping the right audience. They
Yes.
are looking for a solution. So here Thanksgiving is a great example. Uh, They can pay you to make Thanksgiving, or they can do all the shopping.
Yeah.
Gotta get to the store in advance
Yes.
and get all of that stuff. They got to spend 2 days cooking, the day before and the
Yes.
morning of, and they're doing all of that, and hope everything comes out the way they want it. Or they can just pay you and enjoy the party with their guests,
And
enjoy the time with
enjoy.
their. And so, what they're not paying you for food preparation. They're paying you to be able to chill with their friends and family. That is a
Yes.
very big problem that you're solving for them. And so you charge accordingly. And that was the conversation that I had with Sharon. Nobody, like, she sells fried turkeys. One of the things that she offers is fried turkeys. They can pay you for a fried turkey, or they can go get a turkey fryer and risk burning their house down, as so many
Right.
people do.
Right. Right.
So,
Oil spillages,
yeah.
fires. Yes.
And even if it
Yes.
goes well, you got to do all that cleanup, like all of the prep, all of the. So some people enjoy doing that. Most people just want the turkey, just want the fried
Yes.
turkey, and they will pay you whatever you charging for it because they want no part of setting up a turkey fryer. So that's why we were able to significantly increase her prices for Thanksgiving, because she was just way undercharging for the size
Mhm.
of the problem that she was solving. You want to solve problems, big problems for people who have money. That's They will
Make it easy.
trade you some money to make their problem go away because this money is not helping them. They got a surplus of money. I don't want this problem. Like, people who have money do not, they refuse to keep problems that can be solved with money. I can just pay some money and make this problem go away. Done. So
Makes sense.
that's what we want to that's what we want to focus on in terms of our pricing and positioning ourselves in the market. And I'll help you with that. That's because this right here is not what um this is not going to get you in front of the right people, because this is not like the inheritance package. For example, I'm looking at this 170 per person plus the cost of groceries. Additional upgrade fees may be applied depending on blah 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 blah. This is complicated. You making my head hurt. This is not a solution. I just want to pay some money and me and my guests have a good time, man. I don't want no upgrade fees. So we're going to offer those people a solution that doesn't require them to worry or think about upgrade fees. Um, can the client buy groceries instead of the personal chef? No. Yeah, so this is when you're marketing correctly, the people who I'm talking about, they have no interest in buying their own groceries. This is cheap people trying to save money. They want to go buy the groceries and you cook.
Yes.
Yeah, when you through your marketing, you can have these people screen themselves out. I mean, this is good that you have this here, but because this is a way of screening folks out. But this, I mean, I know you have this here because you've had this experience. You're dealing with the folks that's trying to save a few dollars. And that impairs your ability to deliver a quality experience. They go get the cheapest groceries they
Absolutely.
can find and want you to try to turn that into, a 5 course, a 5-star meal. The right folks, they have no intention on going to the store and doing no shopping. All of that's on you, and they're going to pay you for it. Um, what do you need? What Clean, pest-free, rodent-free, functional kitchen. That's, again, when you dealing with the right audience, you don't have to tell them this kind of stuff. There's man, yeah, we gotta some of this we gotta take off because it's when you're talking to the right people. What can happen? Because I'm looking at this bullet here. If the kitchen does not meet basic health code standards, no running water, electricity, blah blah blah, the chef cannot provide service. That's the kind of stuff you got to put all these caveats and all of these things out when you're attracting the wrong people.
Mm-hmm.
A person that's paying you 10 grand or more for their event,
Makes sense. They,
probably the electricity's gonna work at their house. The water's gonna be running all, so you don't have to say all this. So when you're when you're targeting people with money, everything is so much easier. There's just so much
okay.
stuff that you do not have to say because you don't have to worry about it. They're just not in that group of folks that where you got to tell them all of it. Yeah, so when you target the right folks, your life gets a whole lot simpler. Let's see. Gift certificates. How does the process work? Okay. Deposit and payment schedule. 25% upon signing. Subsequent days. I don't see any reason why you can't get all your money up front
Okay.
when dealing with the right folks.
So when
Because
yes, yes.
they've gone through uh, your marketing process where they've seen your videos and everything and gotten to know you. They've been on your email list. There's no reason why, because again, these people want simple. The trust hurdle that you have to cross is not the money part. It's, can they trust you to feed the people who are special to them
Yeah.
on this special occasion? If you cross that threshold and they trust you, okay, how much? 10 grand. All right, here. They just assuming that you're going to do what they expect you to do. They don't want to have to worry about, okay, I got to pay this and then I got to. So they're when targeting the right people, there's no reason why you can't get everything up front so that you can deliver the experience and that's part of it. When you when you don't have to worry about collecting your money, you're able to deliver the highest quality experience because you're
Correct.
not worried about, am I going to put something out and then not get what I'm supposed to get? When you have collected everything, you're charging accordingly, this premium pricing, and you're collecting your money up front, then now you're free to do your best work.
Correct.
Everybody's happy, everybody's so that again, dealing with when you're working with the right folks, everything is just so much easier. Okay, we got our contact form again. And I think I went through all of the pages.
Yep.
Yep. Do you have any questions about anything I said on your website?
No, I got some work to do. More work. It's you leap and learn. It's leap and learn, and I'm learning a lot, and I'm flexible. I'm not so stringent that this is my way that I can't hear advice. So I'm open to learning. So thank you.
You're welcome. Um, we're gonna we gotta get some we gotta get some videos on here, man. Really not a lot, just one or two maybe. We need you just
Yes.
talking about the experience that you deliver. Um, Years ago, I worked with a chef when I first got started with a cooking show, and it wasn't even intended for it to be a business. It was just something that I watched a cooking show on PBS one day and was like, I bet I can do something as good or better than this. And I reached out and found a local chef. Excuse me, and we started her cooking show, and she's a caterer, and so she we was going through this whole business development stuff with her as well, and she was way undercharging for what she was offering. She was charging $1,500 for a dinner party of, I can't remember, I think it was like 10 people or something like that. And she had a really specific niche, and with cannabis, medicinal cannabis, so she was a cannabis chef, is a cannabis chef. And so I told her, you charging, this is nowhere close to what you're supposed to be charging for what you're doing and your specific expertise. And she thought, no, no, I can't charge more. I'll lose all my customers. Nobody's gonna pay me, blah, blah, blah. So she was charging that. And I had told her, you really should be charging a minimum of $3,500 for this service that you're doing. That's the minimum. It really should be more. And then fast forward a year, or maybe it was 2 years, and she got a client. She served, you know, serviced the client, did all the work, and they gave her a $2,000 tip. So she charged $1,500. They gave her a $2,000 tip.
Wow.
And so she told me about that, and I said, okay, so now that's two people who have told you that you're worth more than you think you are. That's the universe that just slapped you in the face with $2,000 saying you need to be charging more. So I want you to understand that this is not, I'm not making this stuff up. When you're servicing premium clients and you deliver a premium experience, they are happy to pay for it. For folks who have money, money is not important to them anymore. Enjoyment of life is. So what good is this
Yes.
money that we have if we're not having great experiences with the people who we care about? Because that's really what this is all about. And so you want to position yourself as the private chef who can facilitate them having these fantastic experiences with their friends and their family. And when you do that, how much just does not matter. Doesn't matter. So that's what I want you to work on. And one ways you can do that. So going back to that chef, after she came back and told me that, I said, all right, you ready to listen now and follow instructions? She's like, yeah, yeah. So we changed her whole website. We simplified it. It basically became a one-page website where we had three packages, three experiences rather. That word packages is not the correct word for what we're talking about. Three experiences. There was a drop off where she cook and drop off. There was the middle tier where a chef would service the dinner party, not her, a chef. She would
Okay.
hire a chef and a barmaid, and they would go out and deliver. And so and then the top tier was where you got her to come out. And so where we priced these was 2,500, I think, for the drop off. I can't remember what we actually called that service. Then the middle tier, that one was $5,000, and then the top tier, we made that $12,000. And we changed her website on a Sunday, and by Monday or Tuesday, she had a $5,000 client. So we made a video for each one where she was communicating what this experience is, and these videos was like 30 seconds each, 45 seconds, where she just communicated what they were going to get, what that experience was going to be, blah, blah, blah. And we communicated in terms of experiences, not, getting this thing or that thing or whatever, but the overall experience. And within 48 hours of changing her website, she got a client for the $5,000 tier, which again is she's sending somebody out to do that work, not her doing it, cooking and hauling all the food and all of that stuff.
Yes.
So this is what's possible when you focus on the premium clients and offer them what they want. They want an experience. They're not worrying about, paying 10% markup on groceries or whatever. They just want to have a great experience. So if you embrace that, those two clients that you want in the next 30 days will be premium clients. I would encourage you to start thinking about what type of experience, how do you want to communicate the experience that you deliver, and start
Okay.
practicing on camera
Okay.
so that you can get good and make that video and have that video sit on your website. Because that video, honestly, you can have a video like that and nothing else on your website. That could be it. Like a one page website where you communicate what this experience and then they fill out the form and then and like video makes your life a whole lot simpler when used correctly. You can
Understood.
replace a whole bunch of typing by a video where you're communicating and then yeah, then you let the back end automations take, do the rest of the heavy lifting. Let's see, was there anything? You said you had some questions. What are they?
I didn't know for as far as your background, if you did the YouTube cooking show for the person, or if you do videography on the side. Um, like, would you video an event to help, to place on the website for marketing purposes, or I didn't know what your involvement level would be, or you just do this part, the advisement.
Yeah, I do. I just do the business consultation now. I used
Oh,
to do video production
uh-huh.
and it just it's I enjoy and so when I started with a headshot photography business. When I decided to quit corporate America, I started with a headshot photography business. I used to be a computer systems architect. IT was my whole career, and then I got tired of it and decided to do a photography business because that was the only other thing I knew how to do. And at that time, I didn't know anything about video. I never stood on in front of the camera. And so I had to learn marketing, all of these things that I'm teaching you. I had to
Hmm.
learn all of this stuff because I didn't know any business owners. So I learned all of this stuff the hard way. And in the process of learning marketing, the need for marketing, and then the importance of video marketing and how much easier it makes things, I started teaching myself how to stand in front of the camera and make promotional materials for my business. And then other business owners saw what I was doing and asked me, can I
Wow.
help them make videos to promote their business? And so I did. And then I started, and that's where I really started coaching because I had gotten good. I had trained myself on how to deliver messages very succinctly and effectively, keep these videos short so people were watching and do what you want them to do. And so I was doing a lot of coaching with the business owners that I was working with. And I realized at some point, probably 95% of what I was doing was the actual coaching, not
Okay.
putting the camera in front of somebody and pressing record, but helping them develop their message and refine it and work through it. And we would do a few takes and then deliver something, get them to where they deliver something really clear and crisp and efficient and that they were happy with. That was all of the work, not the actual recording part. And then the pandemic happened and I realized that I could do all of that online. I don't have to be in front of somebody to do all of that part. And so that's when I shifted my focus to just focusing on the business coaching, the technical aspects. It was good that I had that experience of learning the technical aspects of videography because I teach that to people, these same business owners that I'm working like, all right, here's how you set up the camera. Here's how you do. And then now you don't have to hire somebody because when we're talking about things like now I work specifically with chefs with cooking shows. The time that you have to do this might be, this might be 8 o'clock at night, 9 o'clock at night, at, at your home, where you're not going to be able to get somebody to come do that,
Right. Right.
record you. So you need to know how to set up a camera so you can do this at your convenience. And so I teach people that. And fortunately now we got this thing,
Yep.
which makes it super easy to record yourself. So I don't record people anymore. And that you probably for the type of business that you're running, you really don't need that. Even if you were at an event, like the kind of content that you would need to create from that event, you can do yourself with your phone. Because we're not talking about recording hours of video. We're talking about something real quick. Hey y'all, we're doing this event, and here's the
Yeah.
spread. We got this, and this, and this is a birthday celebration for whatever it is you want to say. And if this is the kind of experience that you want for your family, be sure to reach out to me at my website. Bam.
Make
You
it
don't need a
easy.
crew for that. You can.
Okay.
So you made that video. People are gonna love it. They love that kind of behind the scenes stuff.
Yeah.
There is a social media marketing philosophy of document, don't create. So instead of trying to think about what you're going to create, just pull your phone out and show people what you're doing.
Got it.
Whatever it is you're doing, like that, that's the thing. That's your content. You make that quick video, you upload it, you keep it moving, and you've done your marketing task for the day. So
Okay.
that's a long answer. No, I don't record people anymore. Um, most people do not need that. They think they do, but they don't. Folks in your position, this is the best videographer that you're ever going to have because it's always with you and it doesn't cost you nothing. You already paid for it.
That's right.
So if you learn how to use your phone effectively, you really, particularly for private chef business, you don't need a videographer. What else you want to know?
Those were the main two questions for now. Yeah.
When you gonna um when you gonna start this cooking show?
My deadline that I've given myself is 2 weeks to have a video posted. I'm giving myself deadline, short term deadline, 2 weeks.
Have you bought a mic?
It coming tomorrow. Mic, lights, which really not even needed. Just start with your phone. The tripod, I had to get a new phone mount, so that's ordered and that's coming. I already have the tripod, so new phone mount, mic, and lights. So it's time to get started.
How many how many events are you capable of doing servicing in a month?
In a month, 2 to 3. Like, yeah, full service, the 2 to 3. Yeah.
Okay. Just thinking about a plan for you for this, specifically this holiday season. Okay. Oh, so we've talked about how you're going to trade your time for money, which is one way to make money. But have you given any consideration to food education, getting paid to teach people?
Not besides the in-person cooking classes, but no, not
Have you done in-person cooking classes?
no, I had like not with the clients yet under Sweet Owls. No.
Well, are you interested in teaching cooking classes?
Yes, I can.
Okay, because you can do that. Online is better because it's less work and your client base is anywhere in the world, not just local people.
Got it.
So some folks, there's a limit to how many people you can cook for. There's no limit to how many people you can teach. So if you're willing to teach people, that will be your biggest revenue source out of anything.
Wow.
Like
Okay.
if you do that YouTube channel, you showing up every week with a cooking video, yes, that's going to be a great marketing resource for getting you private chef clients, but so many more people would be able to, if you can create a digital cookbook and sell that. You can have an online community that people pay a monthly fee and they get access to your training. You can do pre-recorded videos, you can do live cooking demonstrations and Q&A and all of that. Like it really is, if you're willing to teach people, that's where the big payday is.
Okay.
So that's something to think about. Because you could sell a cookbook this holiday, like a Thanksgiving cookbook or Friendsgiving cookbook is the idea I'm really promoting right now. Is yeah, you put together a dozen recipes, and this cookbook is intended for people who are having Friendsgiving, so they can come together and everybody can pick a different recipe, and then they all, that's just one idea, one example of some money that's out here this holiday season. If you make that available for people to buy, that's that's money that's coming in once you've made that cookbook. You put it out there and it's available for purchase. That's money that's coming in that you're not trading your time for.
Understood. Yeah.
So that's something that at some point you're going
At
to
some
have to
point.
incorporate into your, because being a private chef is, you're in the honeymoon phase with that, but 10 years from now you may be tired of hauling out all of that stuff and doing, everything that it takes to service these events, and you would like to make money in a way that doesn't require you to physically be somewhere. So
Right.
that's, long or short term planning depending on how on what your urgency is. um yeah, I think I don't have any other questions for you. You got any more for me?
No, I don't.
All right, I'm gonna send you an email invite to bring you into my cooking show accelerator. I'm surprised you're not in there already, but that's my online community, and it'll give you an example of what you can do, what you can
Okay.
build, and as a teaching resource that people will pay you to participate in. And this is like a private social media platform. Like, think of it like
Okay.
a having your own version of Facebook, but specifically for the people who are interested in learning from you how to cook and just all things food or whatever. That's like the next level up from an email list. First thing, you get the email list, email
Uh-huh.
addresses. So now you're able to communicate with them via email. And then with a private membership community, that's like a higher level of of communication, because you can do so many more things inside a private community that you can't do just via email. Mainly bringing folks together and letting them talk amongst themselves rather than it's just you sending them an email. But yeah, so I'll do that. And yeah, you're off to a great start. We're gonna make it even greater with
Thank you.
a few little adjustments to get you in front of the right people who got real money. And if you communicate to them in the language that they're interested in hearing, then they will pay you. What I
Sounds
tell
great.
folks is the rich people are not interested in ordering off the McDonald's dollar menu. So if that's how you're communicating your business in the terms, and it looks like a McDonald's dollar menu, they're not interested. So we got to talk to them the way they want to be talked to. Let them know that you're here to deliver an incredible experience, and that's what they will sign up for.
Great.
You are in one of, if not the best regions in the U.S. for an abundance of the people that we're talking about. Like it's chefs, in the Midwest or in rural areas, and they just don't have access to these people.
Yeah.
Whereas where you are geographically, going to and from wherever you go to and from, you're driving past these communities. You drive because there's just so many of them here. So it's really just a matter of making them aware that you're available to help them with enjoy their life and communicating in those terms, not on pricing terms, but in experience terms. And then yeah, once you get your foot in the door, that's another. I guess everything is just better when you work with the right
Yeah.
people. You get that
Yeah.
first event, and who's in attendance at that event?
Yeah.
More people like the person who. So now, hey, let me get your
Absolutely.
card, and then there's your next event, and now so
Yes.
we
Yes.
just got to get you in that circle, and once you're in there, just do great work, and you you never have to look for work again.
Yep. That's the plan. Thank you so much.
You're very welcome, April. Have a great day. Look for an email from me, and yeah, we're gonna get started from here.
All right. I appreciate you. Thank you. Have enjoy your day.
Appreciate you too. Take care.